How did one cruel line to my parents end with papers being handed to me in my office lobby? My husband did not shout, and he did not beg. Why did he get so calm that I started to feel scared? My name is Sybil Vane, and I used to think I was the reasonable one. I worked in insurance claims, and I liked rules. I liked to say I handled problems. That is what I told people. At home, I said I did the emotional work too. I said Ethan was kind, but weak. I said he made life small. That morning, I stood in our kitchen and watched him make coffee like it was a slow hobby. He rinsed the mug, wiped the counter, and put the spoon back in the same place. He always did things the same way. I told myself it was control. I told myself he did it to show me I could not change anything in this house. Ethan asked if I wanted eggs. I said I was not hungry. He asked if I slept at all. I said I slept fine. He said he felt we were drifting. I said he was being dramatic. He said he did not want to fight. I said I did not want to fight either, but he kept pushing talks at bad times. I kept my voice even, like I was the adult. On the fridge, 2 school papers hung under magnets. Piper's teacher had written a short note about reading practice. Leo's class had a reminder about extra clothes. Ethan looked at them longer than I did. He asked if I could do pickup on Thursday. I said I had work. He said we could trade days. I said I was already doing enough. He nodded, like he was filing it away. I noticed his phone light up when he put it near the sink. It was only for a second. A calendar alert showed a place name and a time. It looked like Lakeside 6:30 p.m. or something like that. He turned the screen down. I acted like I did not care, but my stomach tightened. I told myself he was hiding something first. That made me feel better. I told him we were going to my parents' house that night. He asked if it was planned. I said yes. He said he had a lot of work. I said my parents wanted to see the kids, and he always acted like family was a burden. He said he could come after dinner. I said no, he should come on time for once. He stared at me for a moment, then said, okay. At work, I moved through the day with a sharp kind of energy. I answered emails fast. I closed cases fast. I liked when people called me efficient. It made me feel like I could not be wrong in my personal life too. During lunch, I texted my sister Jenna. I told her I wanted a calm night. I also told her not to baby Ethan. Jenna sent a laughing emoji and said he needed to toughen up. My mother Diane sent a short message that said she made roast chicken. My father Robert sent nothing, which meant he was in one of his moods where he liked to look serious. On the drive to my parents' house, Ethan kept one hand on the wheel like he was holding back. Piper sang a song from school. Leo kicked his shoes against the seat. I looked at Ethan's face and felt annoyed that he looked normal. I wanted him to look guilty. I wanted the world to agree with me without me explaining too much. At my parents' place, the living room smelled like furniture spray and roasted garlic. Diane hugged the kids first, like I did not exist until the right moment. Then she hugged me and said I looked tired. I said it was nothing. Robert shook Ethan's hand like he was doing a business deal. Ethan said it was nice to see them. Robert said he hoped Ethan was keeping up. We sat at the dining table. Diane asked Ethan about work. Ethan said his project was busy but stable. Diane asked if he got a raise. Ethan said not yet. Diane made a small sound like she expected more. I watched and felt a strange relief. When my mother judged him, it made my own thoughts feel normal. Jenna arrived late and dropped her bag on a chair. She asked how married life was. I said it was fine, but Ethan had been off. Ethan asked what off meant. I said he had been distant. He said he felt like I was angry all the time. I said I was not angry. I was just tired of carrying things alone. He asked what things. I said the house, the kids, the planning, the feelings. I listed it like a report. Diane asked if Ethan helped with bedtime. Ethan said he did bedtime most nights. I said he did the steps, but not the heart. I said he read the book, but he did not see me. Ethan asked what he was supposed to do. I said he should know. I hated how calm he sounded. I wanted him to snap so my parents would stop looking at me like I was starting drama. After dinner, Diane brought out dessert and poured coffee. She said I deserved more rest. Robert said a man should lead his home. Jenna said I always dated strong guys before Ethan. That was when the old name came up without anyone even trying. Jenna mentioned Mark Talbot like it was a funny story. She said Mark used to pick me up in a clean car and plan real dates. Diane said Mark had ambition. Robert said Mark knew how to speak. I felt the air change in the room. Ethan looked down at his cup. He did not say anything, and that silence made me feel power. Ethan asked very quietly why we were talking about my ex. I said it was not serious. Diane said it was just talk. Robert said Ethan should not be insecure. I could have stopped it. I did not. I leaned into it, like pushing on a bruise to prove it still hurt. I told them Ethan was a downgrade from Mark. I said it like it was a simple fact, like a brand comparison. I said Ethan was safe, but he was not inspiring. I said he did not protect me from stress. I said he did not make me feel chosen. I watched their faces to see if I won. Diane smiled like she had been waiting for me to admit it. Jenna nodded hard. Robert leaned back and said Ethan had time to improve if he cared. Ethan's eyes moved across the table, from my parents to me, like he was counting exits. He asked why I would say that in front of everyone. I said I was being honest, and he always begged for honesty. He said honesty did not have to be cruel. I said truth is not cruel, people are just weak. This is where I still tell myself I was right. If I lowered my standards, what was the point of my life? That is what I thought then, and part of me thinks it now. Ethan pushed his chair back a few inches. Not loud, not dramatic. He said he did not want to argue there. Diane said he should not make a scene. Ethan said he was not making a scene, and he asked if we could leave soon because the kids looked tired. Piper was quiet, staring at her plate. Leo had chocolate on his fingers. On the drive home, Ethan did not speak much. He asked if I meant what I said. I said he forced it out of me by acting like a victim. He asked how long I felt that way. I said he was turning it into a trial. He said he wanted to understand. I said he only wanted to control my words. He stopped asking after that. When we got home, he carried Leo inside without looking at me. He helped Piper wash her hands and said she should brush her teeth. He sounded normal, and that made me angry again. I wanted him broken, or begging, or loud. Instead, he was careful. I walked into the kitchen to pour water and saw his phone on the counter again. Another reminder flashed. A place name. A time. Then it disappeared. He came in, picked up the phone and put it in his pocket. He looked at me like he was deciding something, and he said he was going to bed early. I told myself he was trying to punish me with silence. I told myself I deserved better than this cold, polite man. Then I heard a soft click from the hallway, like a drawer being locked, and I felt a small fear I did not want to name. The next day I went to work like nothing happened. I told myself my parents were only saying what I was too scared to say at home. I told myself Ethan needed to hear it, because comfort makes people lazy. That was my logic. It sounded clean in my head. My office was open plan, with short walls and bright lights that made everyone look tired. I liked that place because people listened when I spoke. When I explained a claim, they nodded. When I corrected a mistake, they thanked me. At home, Ethan did not thank me for anything. He only asked questions like I was a report he did not trust. Around mid-morning, my friend Cassidy leaned over my desk. She asked how dinner at my parents' house went. I said it was fine, and that Ethan was sensitive again. She said men like that need pressure. She said a woman should not lower her standards to save a man's feelings. I agreed fast. It felt good to have someone repeat my thoughts back to me like they were facts. At lunch, I scrolled through my phone and saw Mark's profile pop up because of an old search. Mark was my ex. He always looked like he had sunlight on him. That is how I remembered him. I told myself I did not miss him. I only missed how I felt near him. I told myself Ethan had never given me that feeling, so it was not my fault if I looked elsewhere. That afternoon, Noah Klein came by the office. He worked with a vendor company that visited our building. He always wore a clean jacket and a relaxed smile, like time did not touch him. He asked how my week was going. I said it was busy. He said I looked like a person who could handle anything. I said I had to. He asked if I ever got a break. I said, not really. He asked if my husband spoiled me. I said my husband was not that type. I said that last part with a small laugh, like it was harmless. Noah smiled like he understood, and that made my chest feel warm. He asked if I wanted coffee from the lobby cafe. I said I could not leave my desk. He said I could because I was the only one who seemed to run the floor anyway. I told myself it was just friendly. It was only attention. It was not a crime. Later, my manager walked by and asked if I could stay a bit after closing to finish a backlog. I said yes before I thought. I liked being needed. I also liked the excuse it gave me. It meant I could come home late and blame work again. In the late afternoon, Ethan texted me. He asked if I would be home for dinner. I said I was staying late. He asked if it was planned. I said it came up last minute. He said Piper had dance practice and he needed a second set of hands. I said he could handle one pickup. He said he had a meeting call too. I said he was always acting like everything was heavy for him. He stopped replying for a while. I stared at the silence and felt annoyed. I told myself he was pouting. I told myself he wanted me to feel guilty so I would apologize for things I did not do. That is what I told myself. Then I thought about Piper, waiting near the door with her little bag, and I pushed the thought away because it made me feel like a bad person. After work, I walked to the parking garage. The air smelled like exhaust and old concrete. My heels clicked in a way that made me feel important. I checked my phone, and there was a new message from Noah. He said he hoped my day got easier. He added a small joke about me being the only calm person in the building. I smiled without meaning to. I told myself it was normal to like being seen. I told myself Ethan should have seen me like that years ago. I told myself I was not doing anything wrong. The story in my head was always ready. Noah appeared near the elevator area, like it was coincidence. He asked if I was heading out. I said yes. He asked if I wanted that coffee now, even if it was late. I said I could not because I had kids. He said kids do not erase your need to breathe. I said my husband would not like it. He said I did not need permission to drink coffee. That line sat in my head like music. It was not about coffee. It was about someone treating my life like it belonged to me. I told myself Ethan had taken that feeling away. I told myself Noah was giving it back. That made it feel earned. I walked with Noah to the cafe in the lobby. The place was almost empty. He asked about my marriage. I said Ethan was a good man, but he did not understand me. Noah asked what that meant. I said Ethan saw my work and my chores, but he did not see my value. Noah said that sounded lonely. I said it was lonely. I used that word because it sounded serious and clean. Noah asked if Ethan ever tried. I said Ethan only tried when I was already upset. Noah said some men are comfortable because they think you will never leave. I said Ethan acted like I would never leave. Noah said that was disrespect. I nodded like I had proof. While we talked, my phone buzzed again. Ethan asked if I could at least call the kids before bed. I said yes, but I did not call right away. I kept talking to Noah because it felt easier than hearing my son's small voice and my daughter's tired questions. When I finally called, Piper asked when I would be home. I said I was still working. She asked if I promised. I said yes. Leo made sounds in the background. Ethan asked if I could be quick and just come home. I said I was finishing something important. He asked what it was. I said he never respected my job. He said he did respect it. I said if he respected it, he would not question me like a police officer. The words came out sharp, and I liked how they landed. It made him quiet. Quiet meant I won that moment. When I got home, the lights were low. The kids were asleep. I found Ethan in the living room with his laptop open. He did not jump when I walked in. He looked like he had been waiting for a long time. Ethan asked if staying late was really work. I said yes. He asked why I sounded like I was in a public place when I called. I said the office was noisy. He said it sounded like a cafe. I said he was imagining things. He asked why my location services were off. I said I turned them off because my phone battery was bad. He said he did not believe me. I said he was becoming controlling. He said he was not controlling, he was confused. I said he was confused because he did not trust me, and that was his issue, not mine. He asked if I was talking to someone else. I said he was disrespecting me by asking. He said he needed honesty after the dinner at my parents' house. I said his hurt feelings were not my job to fix. He looked at the laptop again. I saw a plain spreadsheet on the screen, rows and columns with dates, no title, no big words, just careful lines. When I stepped closer, he moved the cursor, and the screen changed fast, like he did not want me to see. He asked if we could talk tomorrow when the kids were not around. I said there was nothing to talk about. He asked why I kept turning everything back on him. I said because he always started it. He asked if I could stop blaming him for everything. I said I would stop when he stopped making me feel trapped. Then, for a second, I heard a soft beep from his phone, like a recording app starting or stopping. He did not explain it. He just closed his laptop and placed it on the table with care. He said he was going to sleep in the guest room again. I told myself he was doing it to punish me. I told myself he wanted me to panic and beg. But when he walked away, he did not look proud. He looked focused. That scared me more than anger ever did. I planned the rooftop bar night like it was a test. I told myself Ethan needed to see what fun looked like, because he always acted like a tired parent and nothing more. I also told myself my friends would keep me sane. In truth, I wanted witnesses. I wanted a room full of people to agree with me, so I would not have to doubt myself. Before we left, Ethan asked what time we would be home. I said not late. He asked if we could just do dinner somewhere quiet. I said he always tried to make things boring. He asked if Piper could stay with his mom. I said yes, because I wanted a clean night with no kid talk. He nodded and packed the kids' small overnight bags without arguing. That calm still annoyed me. In the elevator down from our apartment, I checked my phone. Noah had sent a message earlier that day. He asked how my week was going and said he hoped I was not stuck with stress. I did not answer right away, but I reread it twice. I told myself that was normal. Ethan glanced at my phone and asked who it was. I said it was work. He asked why I smiled. I said he was imagining things. The rooftop bar was loud and bright, full of people who acted like they were the main character. Cassidy was there first with 2 other friends from her gym. Jenna came later in a tight dress, already talking fast. Miles was with Cassidy, but he stayed back like he did not want to be seen in the center of it. The air smelled like sweet drinks and perfume. Cassidy hugged me and asked if Ethan came. I said he did. She looked him up and down in a way I pretended not to see. Ethan said hello and tried to smile. Cassidy asked him if he ever loosened up. He said he liked calm nights. Cassidy laughed and said calm nights are for old people. I laughed too, because I did not want to be the only one not laughing. We got to a table near the railing. The city lights below looked like a board game. Jenna asked Ethan about work again. Ethan said his project was busy. Jenna asked if he was in charge of anyone. Ethan said he managed a small team. Jenna made a face and said, small teams mean small goals. Ethan asked why goals had to be big to matter. Jenna said it is how life works. Cassidy leaned toward me and asked if Ethan was still sulking after my parents' dinner. I said he was acting hurt like always. Cassidy said men act hurt when they get called out. Ethan heard the word called out and asked what he was being called out for. I said we were not talking about him. He asked how that made sense. I said he always made things about him. A server came with drinks. Ethan asked if I wanted water too. I said no. He said I seemed tense. I said I was fine and he should stop reading into my mood. He said he was not trying to fight. I said then he should stop asking questions. When the music shifted louder, Cassidy asked everyone to play a game. She said we should share the best and worst things about our partners. She said it was fun and honest. Miles looked uncomfortable and asked if we could skip it. Cassidy said he was being sensitive. Jenna said we should do it because it would be funny. Ethan asked what kind of game it was. I said it was just jokes. He asked if it was a trap. I said he was paranoid. Cassidy went first and said Miles was sweet but too quiet. Miles said he did not like being talked about like that. Cassidy said he was proving her point. Then Jenna looked at Ethan and asked what his best feature was. Ethan asked why he needed to list himself. Jenna said confident men can list themselves. Ethan said he was not there to compete. Jenna smiled and said that is why Sybil had to bring her own confidence to the marriage. I felt heat in my face, but I did not stop it. I told myself Ethan needed to hear this kind of truth in public, because private talks never changed him. That is what I told myself. Cassidy asked me to share my before and after, meaning my ex and my husband. I said that was childish. Cassidy said I already compared them at my parents' dinner, so why act shy now? Jenna laughed and said it was a known fact. Ethan looked at me and asked if this was what I thought of him. I said he should relax, because it was only words. A man at the next table turned his head like he was listening. 2 women nearby smiled like they were waiting for something. I noticed a phone held up for a second, maybe filming, maybe not. Instead of feeling shame, I felt a strange thrill. I felt like I could control the moment. Ethan asked if I was going to defend him. I said I did not need to defend a grown man. He asked if I respected him. I said, respect follows results, and I had results. I told him Mark had drive and presence, and Ethan had routines and excuses. I said Mark would plan trips, and Ethan would plan nap schedules. I said Mark made me feel desired, and Ethan made me feel managed. I kept my voice calm, like I was reading a list. Ethan's face went still. He asked if I was trying to hurt him. I said I was trying to be honest. He said honesty without care is cruelty. I said care is what people use to hide the truth. Cassidy laughed and said I was brave. Jenna said Ethan should take notes. Miles looked at the floor. One of Cassidy's gym friends nodded like she agreed with everything. Ethan asked if we could leave. I said he always tried to end nights early. He said he did not want to sit there and be mocked. I said he was mocking himself by acting weak. He asked if I heard myself. I said yes, and I was proud I could finally speak. My phone buzzed on the table. I saw Noah's name flash. Ethan's eyes flicked to it. He asked who Noah was. I said it was a vendor from work. He asked why a vendor was texting me at night. I said he was being controlling again. Ethan said he was asking a normal question. I said normal men trust their wives. Ethan stood up slowly, not spilling anything. He said he was going to go. Cassidy said he was being dramatic. Jenna said he was doing it for attention. I told Ethan he was embarrassing me. He asked how I could be embarrassed by him when I just embarrassed him in front of strangers. I said he was twisting things. He walked away through the crowd, calm and straight. I watched him go and felt anger, then something like fear. I grabbed my phone and typed a fast message to Noah, asking if he was still awake, because I suddenly did not want to go home to quiet. Then I looked up and saw a small notification on my screen. Ethan had turned off his read receipts on our chat thread. The morning after the rooftop bar, I woke up with a dry mouth and a tight chest. Ethan was not in our bed. I knew that, but I still looked at his side like it might fix itself. The guest room door was closed. I listened and heard nothing. That silence felt like a new rule. In the kitchen, 2 mugs sat on opposite sides of the counter. His was clean and faced the wall. Mine had a coffee ring inside. I told myself he did that on purpose, like a message. Then I told myself I did not care. I moved my mug closer to his, just to prove I could. He came in, saw it, and moved his mug away without a word. Ethan asked if I remembered what I said last night. I said yes. He asked if I meant it. I said it was honest and he needed to grow up. He said he did not want to talk about last night in front of the kids. I said we could talk later. He said later was fine, but only if it stayed respectful. I laughed and asked when he became a therapist. He did not reply. Piper came down the stairs holding her sweater. She asked why Dad slept in the other room. I said Dad was upset for no reason. Ethan said he chose the guest room so everyone could sleep better. Piper asked if they were in trouble. Ethan said she was not in trouble. I said she should eat breakfast and not worry about adult moods. Piper watched us like she was trying to read a sign. On the way to school, Ethan drove. I usually drove when I wanted control, but I let him do it because I was tired and because I wanted him to make up for being cold. In the car, he asked what time I would pick up the kids. I said I could do pickup. He asked if I was sure. I said he was acting like I could not handle one task. He said he only wanted a clear plan. I said, clear plans are for people who do not trust their own spouse. At my office, Cassidy messaged me about the bar. She said Ethan's exit was iconic in a boring way. She said I should not chase him because men like that love to feel important. Jenna sent me a voice note and said my parents were still laughing about Ethan's face. I felt a small burst of pride, like I had won something. Then I felt annoyed, because winning should not feel this empty. Around lunch, I noticed Ethan did not message me at all. He always used to send short updates about the kids. That day, nothing. I told myself he was doing it to punish me. I opened our chat and saw the little change again. No read receipts, no status, nothing. It felt like he had locked a door in my face. Late afternoon, my phone rang with an unknown number. I stared at it until it stopped. I told myself it was spam. Then it rang again later, and I let it stop again. I did not want surprises. I wanted the world to follow my version. At pickup, the school line moved slowly. Parents leaned out of windows and waved at teachers. Piper came out holding her backpack straps tight. She climbed into the car and asked if Dad would come back to the bedroom. I said Dad was being dramatic. She said he did not look dramatic, he looked tired. I told her tired people say strange things. She asked if I said something mean. I said grown-ups say hard truths sometimes. When we got home, Ethan was already there. That bothered me, because it meant he knew the routine better than I did that week. He asked Piper about her day. She said she got a star sticker. Ethan said he was proud of her. He asked Leo what he ate. Leo said nuggets. Ethan smiled in a small way that made Leo giggle. I watched them and felt left out, like they were a team without me. I tried to start a talk in the kitchen. I asked Ethan if he was going to keep acting like a stranger. He said he was not acting. He was setting a boundary. I asked what boundary. He said he wanted us to speak only about the kids for now, and only in calm words. I said he was freezing me out. He said he was keeping things stable. I said stable is just another word for cold. He opened a drawer near the counter and took out a folder with a plain label, household. I saw another folder behind it that said bank. He closed the drawer again, and I heard a small click like a lock. I asked what that was. He said it was nothing, and asked if Leo had his extra clothes packed for daycare. I asked why he was acting like a robot. He said he was acting like a father. That evening, Ethan said the kids were sleeping at his mum's again for one night. I asked why. He said he had asked Elaine for help with routine, and she agreed. I said he was turning my kids into a schedule. He said the kids needed peace, and he was making sure they got it. I said peace was just code for pushing me out. He did not argue. At Elaine's house, her dining room was neat and quiet. A small lamp made the walls look warm. Elaine hugged Piper and Leo. Then she greeted me with a polite smile that did not reach her eyes. Ethan helped the kids wash their hands. I watched how easily he moved in that space. like it was already his backup home. Elaine asked if we could talk for a minute while the kids played. Ethan said yes. I said I wanted to talk too. Elaine said it would be better if we kept it calm and short. I told her Ethan was acting strange and secretive. I said he was punishing me with silence. Elaine asked what happened at the rooftop bar. I said it was just jokes, and Ethan made it a big issue. Ethan said it was not jokes to him. I said he took everything personally. Elaine asked if I was seeing anyone else. I laughed and said she was being dramatic. Ethan said he was not asking for drama. He was asking for honesty. I said honesty was not safe with him because he twisted it. Elaine said that sounded like blame. I said I was not blaming, I was explaining. Ethan told Elaine he had started writing things down because he did not trust his memory under stress. I said that was crazy and controlling. Elaine asked what he meant by writing. Ethan said dates, times, and routines. He said he wanted clear records for the kids' stability. I said he was building a case against me. He said he was building a plan for peace. Elaine did not react like I expected. She nodded like it made sense. While they talked, Ethan's phone made a soft beep. He glanced at it and swiped the screen down fast. I caught a small banner that said, "File uploaded successfully." I tried to grab meaning from it, but it was gone too fast. On the drive back, I told Ethan his mother was turning against me. He said his mother was protecting the children. I said I was the children's mother. He said that was true, and that was why he wanted everything to be handled properly. I asked what properly meant. He said it meant calm, lawful, and clear. At home, I went into our bedroom and looked at the closet, like it might tell me something. Ethan's side looked the same, but too neat. His dresser top was almost empty. In the hallway, I heard that locked drawer click again, followed by the low hum of the shredder in the office corner. I stood still, holding my breath, and I hated how my own house started to feel like it was not mine. The next week felt like a long hallway with no doors. Ethan spoke less and did more. He packed lunches. He folded tiny socks. He wrote down pickup times on a whiteboard like we were roommates. I told myself he was trying to make me feel replaceable. I told myself I would not let him. At work, I started checking my phone too often. Noah sent short messages that sounded supportive but never promised anything. He asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. He said I deserved to be valued. I said I already knew that. I kept my replies careful, like I was not crossing a line, even while I stood on it. Cassidy asked me to meet her at the gym lobby after work. She said she had tea. I went because I wanted a script. Cassidy said Ethan was playing a quiet game. She said quiet men are dangerous because they look innocent. She said I should control the story before he did. I asked what she meant. She said a vague post can make people take your side fast. She said I should write something like, "Some men punish you with silence." I told her that sounded dramatic. She said drama is a tool, and I was wasting it. On Thursday, I went to the supermarket after work. I had a list on my phone, but my mind kept sliding away from it. I filled the cart with normal things: milk, cereal, fruit, pasta. It was strange to buy food while my marriage felt like it was already being boxed up. At checkout, the cashier scanned the items fast. I tapped my card like I always did. The screen beeped and flashed, declined. I tried again. Declined. I felt heat rise into my face. The cashier looked at me with polite boredom, like my problem was not important. People behind me shifted and sighed. I told the cashier it was a mistake. I said my bank was acting up. I tried to laugh like it was nothing. My hands shook a little. I checked my account on my phone, and the balance looked different than I expected. Not empty, but not free either. It looked like a line had been drawn. Ethan appeared behind me with a basket. He had come in quietly, like he planned it. He asked if I needed help. I said no. He said my card did not look like it was working. I said I already saw that. He paid with his card without making a show of it. He thanked the cashier, picked up 2 bags, and walked out like it was an ordinary day. In the parking lot, I asked what happened to the account. He said he moved some things to keep bills stable. I said he was controlling money to control me. He said he was controlling money to control chaos. I said that sounded like an excuse. He said it was a boundary. I asked if he was punishing me. He said he was preventing surprises. On the drive home, I kept talking because silence felt like losing. I said he was humiliating me. He asked if I remembered humiliating him at my parents' dinner and at the bar. I said that was different. He asked how it was different. I said because he deserved pressure. He asked if I thought I deserved consequences. I said consequences are for people who do wrong on purpose. At home, the kids were with Elaine again. Ethan had arranged it for routine, as he called it. I said he was hiding my children from me. He said the kids were safe and loved, and they would be home tomorrow. He said we needed one calm evening. I told him I did not need calm. I needed him to stop acting like a stranger. He went to the kitchen and opened that locked drawer. This time I saw more. Neat stacks, tabs, and a single USB with a small date label on it. He slid it into a folder and closed the drawer. The click sounded final. I asked what he was doing. He asked if I wanted to argue or if I wanted to fix schedules for next week. I said he was dodging. He said he was choosing what mattered. My phone buzzed. It was Jenna. She asked if I was coming to our parents' house on Saturday. I said yes. She said Mom was done with Ethan's attitude. I said Ethan was done with mine, not the other way around. Jenna laughed and said I should stop acting like I did anything wrong. I told her I needed my parents to talk sense into him. Jenna said they would. Saturday came, and I walked into my parents' living room like I was entering a courtroom where everyone already loved me. Diane took my coat and asked if Ethan came. I said he was home working. Robert said that was convenient. Jenna said he was probably sulking. I said he was being cold and controlling. Diane said some men get mean when they know they are not the best you can do. That line made me feel warm for a second, like comfort food. I told them about the declined card. I said Ethan was financially punishing me. Robert frowned and said that was serious. Diane asked if Ethan had always been petty. I said he was not petty, he was insecure. Jenna asked if I wanted her to text him and set him straight. I said yes, then I said no, because I wanted Ethan to come to me first. Cassidy joined us later at a family restaurant long table because Jenna invited her like it was normal. Cassidy acted like she belonged. She asked if I had posted anything yet. I said no. She said I was letting Ethan paint me as the villain. I said Ethan never even talked online. Cassidy said quiet men do not need to post, they just let other people see you fall. During dinner, Diane asked if I was still happy with Ethan. I said happiness is complicated. Robert asked if I was being faithful. I stared at him and laughed too quickly. I said he was being old-fashioned. Jenna said loyalty is earned. Cassidy said women do not owe men comfort when men do not provide value. They all nodded like it was a rule. I told myself I was safe there. I told myself no one would ever make me face the full truth in that room. When I got home that night, Ethan was in the hallway by the stairs. The house smelled faintly like toner, like a printer had been running. I noticed a sticky note on the edge of the desk that said, "Bring forms." I pretended I did not see it. Ethan asked how my parents were. I said they were worried about me. He asked what I told them. I said I told them you are controlling and cold. He nodded once, like he expected that answer. He asked if I was ready to tell the truth about why I kept coming home late. I said I worked late. He asked if I wanted to say that again and keep a straight face. I said he was accusing me without proof. He said he was not accusing. He was confirming. I raised my voice a little and asked if he was trying to scare me. He said he was trying to protect the kids and protect himself. I said he was acting like I was dangerous. He said I was not dangerous, but I was dishonest, and dishonesty spreads. I asked what he wanted from me. He said he wanted peace. He said he wanted a plan that did not depend on my moods. I said he was making me sound unstable. He said I did not need his help to sound unstable. I waited for him to yell. I waited for him to insult me. He did not. He only looked tired, like he had already walked through the worst part in his head. Then he spoke in the same calm voice he used when he explained bedtime rules to the kids. He said he would not fight in circles anymore. He said he was going to handle it properly. On Monday, I went to work like I could still outrun the problem. I wore my best blazer and told myself I looked like a woman in control. I kept checking my phone, waiting for Ethan to crack and send a long message. He did not. He only sent one text about Piper's backpack and Leo's nap time, like I was a co-worker. Around lunch, I saw Ethan's name on my screen, but it was not a call. It was a short message that said he would be in the building lobby at 2. I asked why. He said he needed to drop off something for me. I asked what. He said it was important and it would be handled properly. I told myself he was bluffing. I told myself properly was just a word men use when they want to sound serious. I even messaged Cassidy and said Ethan was trying to scare me with calm talk. Cassidy said I should not meet him alone. I said it was a public lobby, and I was not afraid. At 2 o'clock, I walked down to the office tower lobby with my badge still on. People were coming and going, holding coffees and laptop bags. I saw Ethan near the glass doors. He stood straight, hands empty, face calm. Elaine was a few steps behind him, holding Leo's small jacket like she had just done a pickup. Piper was beside Ethan, quiet and stiff, with her backpack on both shoulders. I felt heat in my chest. I asked Ethan why the kids were here. He said he wanted everything clear and calm. I asked if he was trying to shame me. He said he was trying to keep the kids' day normal. A man in a plain suit stepped closer. He asked if I was Sybil Vane. I said yes. He asked me to confirm my address. I hesitated, then said it. He held out a thick envelope. I did not want to take it, but people were already looking. A security guard glanced over. A woman from my office paused near the elevator, pretending she was not watching. I asked Ethan what this was. He said it was the next step. He said he had tried talking, and I had turned every talk into a fight. He said he would not fight anymore. I told the suited man I did not accept anything. He said acceptance was not required. He said he was serving me and that the time and place would be noted. I felt my hands go cold as I took the envelope. I opened it right there because I could not help myself. The first page said petition in big letters. My eyes caught words like temporary, exclusive use, and parenting schedule. I looked up at Ethan and asked if he was really doing this. He said yes. I told him he was trying to ruin me. He said he was trying to protect himself and the children. I said he could not take my kids. He said he was not taking them, he was making a plan. I scanned the page again and saw the schedule started today. It listed pickup times, drop-off places, and who had which nights. It also said I had to leave the house by a set date and only take personal items, not shared property. I heard myself say that this was unfair. Ethan said the process was lawful and already moving. Elaine touched Piper's shoulder and told her it was time to go. Piper looked at me and asked if she could still sleep in her own bed tonight. Ethan did not answer me again. He only turned toward the doors, calm as ever, while I stood in the middle of the lobby, holding the papers that told me what my life would be starting today.